Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the explosive return of Britt Westburn, and how it's sparking intense questions in young Rocco Falcone's mind about his mysterious beginnings. In the swirling drama of Port Charles, Britt Westburn's shocking resurrection from what everyone believed was her final demise is set to unleash a storm of emotions, particularly for Rocco Falcone, the teenager whose life has been a tangled web of secrets since day one. Imagine the chaos. Rocco, still reeling from the horrifying discovery of Judge Eva Heron's lifeless body, bobbing in the cold harbor waters, can't shake the shadows of his earliest days. Those crucial first 7 months, when Britt acted as his surrogate mother, carrying him through a pregnancy born from stolen embryos, and then shockingly keeping him hidden from his biological parents. Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri have become an obsession. Britt didn't just vanish with him. She wove a narrative of protection mixed with her own inner turmoil, battling personal demons like her family's dark legacy and her own health struggles. Now, with Britt back among the living, Rocco sees this as his golden opportunity to uncover the unfiltered truth directly from her lips. What drove her to such extremes? Was it a twisted form of maternal love, a regret-fueled mistake, or perhaps a darker impulse tied to her Obrecht family roots? This curiosity isn't just idle wonder, it's a burning need that could redefine his sense of self, especially as he navigates the choppy waters of adolescence in a town full of scandals. Diving deeper into Rocco's mindset, his fixation on those hidden months stems from a profound desire to piece together the puzzle of his identity. Born amid controversy, with embryos illicitly taken and Britt stepping in as the gestational carrier, his entry into the world was anything but ordinary. She didn't hand him over right away. Instead, she fled with the newborn, creating months of agony for Lulu and Dante, who searched desperately while fearing the worst. Rocco, now old enough to grasp the gravity, wonders about the daily moments he missed with his parents and what Britt's intentions truly were. Did she sing lullabies to him in quiet hideaways? Or was it all a calculated move to spite her enemies? Her return flips everything upside down, transforming vague family stories into a living, breathing chance for clarity. He might envision late-night conversations where Britt reveals hidden diaries or mementos from that time, painting a picture of her as a conflicted anti-hero rather than the villain some portray her as. Yet, this quest comes with risks. Rocco's recent traumas, including witnessing death up close, have left him vulnerable, potentially pushing him toward impulsive decisions that could endanger his fragile emotional state. Meanwhile, Dante and Lulu, as fiercely protective parents, are bound to step in, their instincts screaming to shield Rocco from the potential heartbreak of dredging up this painful history. They've built a stable life for him, filled with love and normalcy, but Britt's reappearance threatens to crack that foundation. Lulu, with her own history of resilience after comas and family betrayals, might worry that exposing Rocco to Britt could reopen wounds from her own past battles with the Casadinis and other foes. Dante, the steadfast detective, could see red flags in Britt's unpredictable nature, fearing she might manipulate the narrative to her advantage, or drag Rocco into ongoing Obrecht family feuds. They might attempt to curtail his inquiries through family meetings or even grounding him, emphasizing that some truths are better left buried to preserve peace. However, Rocco's teenage rebellion, amplified by the adrenaline of recent events like the harbor incident, could manifest in secret rendezvous with Britt or digging through old hospital records on his own. This push-pull dynamic risks straining their parent-child bonds, perhaps leading to heated arguments where Rocco accuses them of hiding the full story, forcing Dante and Lulu to confront whether smothering his curiosity is protection or control. In the end, will they clamp down hard, or recognize that allowing him some closure might strengthen their family unit in unexpected ways? Complicating matters further is Liesl Obrecht, Britt's formidable mother, whose raw fury over her daughter's fake death still simmers like a volcano ready to erupt. Liesl believed she had lost her child forever, mourning in ways that shattered her tough exterior, only to learn it was all an elaborate ruse, perhaps tied to Britt's health battles, or schemes against enemies like Peter August. This betrayal has created a chasm between them, with Liesl refusing to even exchange words, her anger manifesting in sharp rebukes and cold shoulders. Now, as Rocco's pursuit of answers draws Britt back into the spotlight, Liesl finds herself in an impossible position. Does she align with Dante and Lulu to block Rocco's access, viewing Britt as a toxic influence whose betrayal mirrors her own pain? She might argue that shielding the boy protects him from the same heartache she endured, drawing on her experiences as a mad scientist and family matriarch who's seen too many deceptions. Or could her deep-seated maternal love prevail, softening her stance and pushing her to support Britt in revealing the truth, hoping it mends their fractured relationship while giving Rocco the puzzle pieces he craves? Liesl's unpredictable personality makes her the ultimate wild card. In this unfolding saga, she's a fierce guardian angel one minute, capable of orchestrating grand gestures of loyalty, and a vengeful force the next, unleashing schemes that shake Port Charles to its core. Picture her internal struggle, flashbacks to Britt's death scene, the grief that nearly broke her, clashing with memories of cradling her daughter as a child. If Rocco approaches her for insights, Liesl might initially lash out, but a spark of empathy could shift her allegiance, leading to clandestine alliances where she facilitates meetings between Britt and the teen. Her choice could be the tipping point. Siding with the parents might isolate Britt even more, deepening family divides and leaving Rocco frustrated, while championing her daughter could foster healing, perhaps through emotional family gatherings where long-buried secrets surface. Fans are buzzing about how Liesl's decision might involve her signature dramatic flair, like a surprise intervention or a heartfelt monologue that changes everything. As Rocco's obsession builds, it could force a much-needed reckoning for the entire family, with Britt's return acting as the catalyst that exposes festering scars from years of lies and losses. Old grudges, like the embryo theft orchestrated by twisted minds, resurface, compelling everyone to face the fallout. If Liesl throws her weight behind Dante and Lulu, it might push Britt to the fringes, heightening her isolation and possibly driving her to desperate acts for redemption. Conversely, if she rallies for Britt, it could pave the way for bridges to be rebuilt, offering Rocco a fuller picture of his origins and helping him process his traumas through understanding. General Hospital enthusiasts are already theorizing wild outcomes, perhaps mandatory therapy sessions where a counselor like Kevin Collins mediates explosive confrontations, or dramatic showdowns at the Quartermain mansion that test Lulu and Dante's parenting limits. Rocco's journey might even intersect with other Port Charles plots, like ongoing investigations or romantic entanglements, adding layers of intrigue. Will Rocco finally get the answers that haunt his dreams, piecing together his story with Britt's first-hand account? Or will his relentless curiosity spiral into catastrophe, tearing apart the fragile peace his family has fought to maintain? The stakes are sky-high, with emotions running raw and alliances shifting like sand. Faithful, what do you think? Can this fractured family hold back the flood of revelations? Or will Britt's long-hidden truths submerge them in even deeper turmoil? Next, we're diving into the exciting return of Lois Cerullo and the 3 compelling reasons she's heading back to Port Charles, stirring up all sorts of drama and heartfelt moments along the way. Lois Cerullo, portrayed by the talented Rena Sofer, is set to make a triumphant reappearance in the bustling world of Port Charles, and her comeback is packed with purpose. Fans have been eagerly awaiting this development, as Lois brings her signature Brook Lynn flair and no-nonsense attitude that always shakes things up. Her return isn't just a casual visit, it's driven by deep family ties, unresolved tensions, and the need to lend a helping hand during turbulent times. As the Quartermain family navigates a wave of emotions, Lois steps in as a pillar of strength, reminding everyone of her enduring connections to this iconic clan. With her history intertwined with the Quartermains through marriage and shared experiences, Lois's presence promises to add layers of complexity to ongoing storylines, perhaps even sparking unexpected alliances or confrontations that keep viewers on the edge of their seats. First and foremost, Lois's primary motivation revolves around the heartbreaking loss of Monica Quartermain, a matriarch whose passing sends shockwaves through the entire family. Lois, ever the compassionate soul, feels compelled to rush back to offer her sincere condolences and stand by her daughter, Brook Lynn Quartermain, during this devastating period. Imagine the Quartermain mansion, usually a hub of high-stakes business deals and quirky antics, now shrouded in grief as loved ones gather to mourn Monica's legacy. Lois knows all too well how such a profound loss can fracture even the strongest bonds, and she refuses to let Brook Lynn face it alone. Originally, Lois had planned to give her daughter the space she needed, respecting boundaries after their past disagreements, but Monica's death acts as a catalyst, pulling Lois back into the fold much sooner than anticipated. Reflecting on her brief but impactful marriage to Ned Quartermain, Lois recalls the Quartermain family dynamic's vivid lithe warmth from some members, contrasted with tensions from others like Tracy, Monica, in particular, had always treated Lois with a level of kindness that stood out, never harboring the grudges that others did. Even amid the messy affair involving Catherine Bell, this fond memory fuels Lois's desire to honor Monica's memory by supporting the family, perhaps organizing a small, intimate gathering or sharing stories from the past that highlight Monica's strength and wisdom. In doing so, Lois not only pays her respects, but also begins to weave herself back into the fabric of Port Charles' life, potentially influencing how the Quartermaines heal and move forward. Building on that emotional foundation, Lois's second key reason for returning is her burning wish to bridge the gap with Brook Lynn, and finally make amends, if her daughter is open to it. The strain between them has been palpable, rooted in years of misunderstandings and differing life choices. But Monica's passing creates an opportunity for reconciliation that Lois can't ignore. Brook Lynn, already reeling from the family's loss, might find herself craving the comfort only a mother can provide, making this the perfect moment for Lois to extend an olive branch. Picture Lois arriving with a mix of nervousness and determination, armed with heartfelt apologies and a willingness to listen to Brook Lynn's side without judgment. Up until now, Lois has tried to respect the distance Brook Lynn established, biting her tongue during tense phone calls or avoiding Port Charles altogether, to prevent further conflict. However, General Hospital spoilers hint that this separation has become too painful to sustain, especially in the face of such tragedy. Lois envisions a breakthrough where they sit down over coffee at the Metro Court, hashing out old hurts and rediscovering the love that binds them. Adding a fresh twist, perhaps Lois brings along a cherished family heirloom from her Brooklyn roots, a vintage locket that once belonged to her own mother, as a symbol of continuity and forgiveness. This gesture could melt the ice, leading to tearful embraces and a renewed mother-daughter bond. Moreover, once harmony is restored between Lois and Brook Lynn, it might pave the way for Joe Palmieri to let go of his own resentments, fostering a ripple effect of healing within their extended circle. Lois's persistence in mending fences showcases her growth as a character, transforming past regrets into future strengths, and enriching the show's exploration of family redemption. Finally, Lois's timing couldn't be more impeccable as she steps in to offer crucial support and guidance to Brook Lynn amid brewing troubles in her marriage to Harrison Chase. With Chase's attention increasingly diverted by his complicated feelings toward Willow Tate, Brook Lynn finds herself in a vulnerable spot, needing a trusted advisor to navigate the storm. Lois, with her wealth of life experience and sharp insights into relationships, emerges as the ideal confidant, ready to dispense wisdom drawn from her own romantic highs and lows. Envision Lois pulling Brook Lynn aside for a candid heart-to-heart, perhaps during a quiet walk along the Port Charles waterfront, where she shares stories of her tumultuous marriage to Ned and the lessons learned about trust, jealousy, and communication. Chase's distraction hasn't gone unnoticed. Even his superior, Police Commissioner Anna Devane, observes his lack of objectivity when it comes to Willow, which could spell professional repercussions on top of personal ones. Lois might encourage Brook Lynn to confront these issues head-on, suggesting strategies like couples counseling or setting clear boundaries, all while reassuring her that she's not alone in this fight. To add depth, Lois could introduce a new element by recalling a similar situation from her past, inventing a fictional anecdote about a friend in Brooklyn who faced infidelity suspicions and emerged stronger through open dialogue. This advice not only bolsters Brook Lynn's resolve, but also highlights Lois's role as a mentor figure, potentially influencing Chase to refocus on his marriage. As tensions rise, Lois's presence ensures Brook Lynn has a rock-solid support system, turning potential marital discord into an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. In wrapping up, Rena Sofer's reprisal of Lois Cerullo is poised to inject fresh energy into General Hospital, with her return driven by these three pivotal reasons that promise emotional depth and dramatic flair. From honoring Monica's memory to rebuilding bonds with Brook Lynn and guiding her through marital woes, Lois's comeback is sure to captivate audiences. Next, we're exploring the intriguing possibility that Willow Tate could manipulate Harrison Chase, with just 4 powerful words, potentially derailing his entire life in the process. In the ever-twisting saga of Port Charles, Willow Tate emerges as a master of subtle influence, and her latest potential ploy involves ensnaring Detective Harrison Chase in a web of emotional turmoil and risky decisions. As tensions escalate around the explosive case involving Judge Eva Heron, Chase finds himself teetering on the edge of professional misconduct, all because of his lingering feelings for his ex. Spoilers suggest that Willow's cunning nature might push her to exploit this vulnerability, turning Chase into an unwitting ally in her desperate schemes. With the stakes involving custody battles, hidden bribes, and shadowy alliances, this storyline promises to deliver high drama, testing loyalties and unraveling relationships in unexpected ways. Imagine Chase, usually the picture of integrity, grappling with inner conflicts that could cost him everything he's built. From his badge to his marriage, Willow's influence isn't just about words, it's rooted in their shared history, where old flames flicker back to life amid the chaos of Port Charles' underbelly, perhaps even drawing in other characters like Sonny Corinthos or Anna Devane for added layers of intrigue. Delving deeper, Chase has been wrestling with the temptation to bend the rules by sharing critical evidence. From Judge Eva Heron's controversial case directly with Willow, fearing the fallout if she discovers the full truth, he worries that revealing his supposed involvement in bribing the judge, which could lead to her losing custody of the children, might drive her away permanently, shattering any chance of reconciliation. Yet, as General Hospital enthusiasts know, the real culprit behind the bribe was the enigmatic Jen Sidwell, with Sonny Corinthos cleverly orchestrating a frame job on Drew Kane, aided by the resourceful Britt. Evidence points to a suspicious wire transfer tucked away in Drew's safe, a detail that could blow the lid off the entire conspiracy if exposed. To heighten the suspense, perhaps Chase stumbles upon additional clues during a late-night stakeout, like encrypted emails or a hidden ledger that further implicates the wrong parties, making his internal struggle even more agonizing. Up to now, Chase has held back from confiding in Willow about this bombshell development, but the pressure is mounting, and spoilers hint he might crack under the strain soon. This hesitation stems from his deep-seated belief in Willow's innocence, viewing her as a victim ensnared by circumstances rather than the calculating figure she's evolved into over time. Despite his reservations, Chase could defy direct orders from his boss, Police Commissioner Anna Devane, by leaking updates to Willow, or he might opt for subtler risks that still put him in jeopardy. Even if he manages to keep his lips sealed on the evidence, his protective instincts toward Willow drive him to take other dangerous steps, like covering tracks or providing alibis that blur the lines of legality. Willow's role in the mystery surrounding who shot Drew adds a sinister edge, as her actions suggest she's far from the innocent bystander Chase perceives her to be. Furthermore, her stalking of Daisy Gilmore to force Sasha Gilmore Corbin out of town along with Michael Corinthos' daughter reveals a pattern of manipulation aimed at securing her own interests. Inventing a new layer, Willow might have enlisted a discreet private investigator to gather dirt on rivals, only for that plan to backfire when the investigator uncovers her own secrets, forcing her to improvise wildly. As Willow's web of deceptions grows more tangled, she's bound to slip up, drawing unwanted attention and heightening the need for Chase's intervention to clean up the messes. In her frantic efforts to bury these secrets and dodge any fallout, Willow's cover-up attempts are likely to hit roadblocks, compelling her to lean heavily on Chase for support like never before. Desperation fuels her every move, especially her burning desire to reunite with her children, which pushes her to extreme lengths without regard for the consequences. This could manifest in late-night pleas for help, where Willow corners Chase in dimly lit corners of the police station, whispering urgent requests that test his moral compass. To expand on this, perhaps she fabricates a scenario involving a fake threat from an anonymous source, claiming it endangers the kids and requires Chase's insider access to neutralize it, thereby binding him closer to her cause. Willow's strategy might involve sweet-talking Chase into unwavering loyalty, ensuring he prioritizes her over his duties or personal life, even if it means crossing ethical boundaries he's sworn to uphold. Her charisma, honed through years of navigating Port Charles' elite circles, becomes a weapon, subtly eroding Chase's resolve and making him complicit in schemes he once would have condemned. Ultimately, this escalating dynamic culminates in Willow potentially blindsiding Chase with a bold declaration, designed to reel him in completelythos for fateful words, "I still love you." By uttering this, Willow could paint a picture of regret, insisting that choosing otherwise was a grave error and that her heart has always belonged to him. This tactic might surface especially if her alliance with Drew crumbles under scrutiny, leaving her in need of a reliable backup plan to salvage her position. Envision a charged encounter at a secluded park bench, where Willow, with tears in her eyes, recounts fabricated memories of their happier times, perhaps inventing a story about a lost love letter she kept hidden all these years, as proof of her enduring affection. Chase, ever the knight in shining armor type, thrives on playing the hero, which could lead him to throw caution to the wind, endangering his career at the PCPD and his marriage to Brook Lynn Quartermain. In a bid to save Willow, spoilers from ABC General Hospital indicate that Willow's pull on Chase will drag him into a quagmire of trouble, setting the stage for shocking revelations and heart-wrenching betrayals.